It's WG, bring your SMB, and let's make this our day 3 check-in. So I'm going to show you what we achieved. This account is obviously currently on day 4, but we haven't touched a single thing. So I just want to kind of show you what we achieved, what we did, kind of a couple tips and tricks. Who did we invest into? What were our choices and the like. So yeah, let's actually have a look at our vessel levels first. So what you're going to be noticing is that we have a level 100 Del Carlo, a level 100 Augustine, and then level 97, 97 and 96 on our SSRs. The only way this was possible is because we've made use of the events. So this event is what mainly allowed us to do this whole shenanigan, and that is by playing the Twilight Path. So in the Twilight Path, we've actually bought out the Scarlet Cords from the shop, pushed ourselves to LH1-11, and then fully used all our attempts on this fight. Even though we didn't have the full bonus, which means we overall got a couple less event rewards, we were able to, as you can see, buy out the summons, buy out the premium summons, and then also already start working on these. So these will be buying out in the next couple of days with the free attempts, just so we can get some extra rewards. And then obviously we had the Moon Day trial to help us along. So what that led to is us now sitting on 97 extra hours of Divine Blood, which we're also going to heavily need if we want to break through from level 100 to level 101. So yeah, past that we were able to clutch up into the top 22% in Zagon. We actually finished the fight for 4 seconds. 4 seconds before the event ran out. So it was very tight as can be. But yeah, that's like the resource situation. We've bought out the shop there. We got a lot of rewards there. And we were pushing hard on making sure we get through level 80 and level everybody else up. And yeah, for now, let's talk about the factor that you cannot influence, and that has to be pull luck. So this might also be like a good or a bad reminder for any of you. We've done a total of 80 summons, which is 24,000 gems worth of premium summons. We started off with the Transcendent, which is obviously super lucky, and then went on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 summon dry streak up until our summon here with another Lemine, which is obviously fantastic. It is amazing, and we are lucky to get another Transcendent or Ancestor. And then this happened, right? Within 2 summons, we were able to get ourselves a fully maxed out Del Carlo as well as a copy of Friedrich. Though we would have been able to make the same amount of progress had we only gotten 1 Del Carlo. Del Carlo really was integral to our push efforts. And if you're wondering, okay, did the luck kind of continue? To a degree, yes. To a degree, no. Let me give you a brief review. So we've done 211 summons on the normal banner with a Thibault, then then like 2 nothings, a Gilrain. Those are obviously high quality units, but less in quantity. Then a whole bunch of nothing into a Cecia with nothing, then a Augustine, so pretty decent, as well as then again a whole bunch of nothing into a Hati, Otavia, and Amy, with Amy obviously again being very lucky, though we haven't yet actually made use of Amy. And then right here the last 2 weren't all that great. So you've seen our summons, but let's talk about the specific picks. So we got lucky twice, you could say, and that's because we were able to get ourselves a Acapella from a perfect chart, and we were able to snag ourselves a Bella prior to day 8, also from a perfect chart. And on the note of how did you get all these perfect charts, we've spent every single bit of currency that we have. You can see just on these perfect charts, we've been buying them every time we could, just so we can get ourselves more SSR heroes, because those are very account defining. And then we also have a Starry-Eyed Iona. So for those of you that have seen it, we have done 210 summons, and Starry-Eyed Iona was our 150 selector, which would have been an Acapella if it wasn't for us getting Acapella before the 150. So yeah, making sure you have a Acapella, making sure you have a Starry-Eyed is really, really helpful in pushing story. So before we get into like general progress, let me show you what we're looking at gear wise. So we have our Hati, and every one of you always wants to know, oh, when do I upgrade gear, when do I don't, what do you do? This is what you do, or this is what I do, and that is we take our main 2 DPS sets, which are going to be here Hati where we upgrade the helmet. And no, we haven't just upgraded this helmet because it's tier 6. We actually upgraded even helmets on tier 3, and then we took the tier 3 helmet, fed it into our tier 4 helmet, upgrade our tier 4 helmet, fed that one into our tier 5, and then fed the tier 5 helmet into tier 6, because XP carries over. The only thing you do lose is a bit of soli. So helmet because it has the highest attack stat, and then ring because it has the second highest, with us not touching these items yet because of investment reasons. Then we have our Amy. We haven't used her yet as much, but we do have purple full heavy armor should we ever use her. And then we have our main DPS set, which is going to be light armor in full purple, with the, again, helmet up to level 3 and ring up to level 3, because they have the highest attack stat, which matters the most for doing damage. So that is also what we did. We again took pieces all the way starting from tier 3. We just leveled them up and then fed them into the upgraded pieces to slowly make these pieces better, because they were able to help us do more progression, get more benefits. And then we are kind of on our second light armor set, you can see, and we did get lucky or unlucky, no matter, depending on how you see it, because we did get a faction branded helmet for ancestors, which we can use on which we can only use on Lemine, but hey, that is better than not having someone. Then we also have our light armor or medium armor sets, where we have a tier 6 helmet that we found for the church, as well as a tier 6 for the kingdom, which we could actually, you know what, swap over here onto our stereotype, you know, might as well. So yeah, that's our Bella, our stereotype, and then the rest we don't have any gear, because we're using any leftover gear to upgrade our gear pieces. Now, where do we get all these pieces? Obviously, depending on when you watch this, for us there was still a 2x drop event active. So overall, what we have done is, on day 1 we have attacked the Insatiate Spirit, and then on day 2 and day 3 we were already able to challenge the Armored Spirit. This isn't obviously a requirement for you, but it does help in making these jumps easier. And the highest record we were able to reach yesterday, or day 3, was a tier 8 chest, which is why we were able to get these ancestor piece right here. So we were able to hit this 3 times, which was quite nice. So that is the general progression side of things. Then we obviously have our Timon Mausoleum, where we pushed the highest level we could for the day. Dutchman's Revenge. I have to get myself through doing the communion, but we'll do that too. Bloodborne Arena. Arena is really simple. Like, just challenge people you can beat. Like, for example, even if they have lower points, you can just refresh, search for a bot. Like, for example, this guy has around similar points, is easy to beat, gives you the same reward. You don't have to bother with Arena as much early on. And yeah. So this is currently where we are in the story. We've managed to make it into chapter 11. And yeah, we were just kind of able to snowball our progression quite well, though we're now getting into that time period where progress obviously starts slowing down. So I don't expect us to make like any gigantic leaps in progression anymore. Is there any big tips I can give you along? It will probably have to be the Observatory. Like, this is what we did. We fully upgraded the Observatory here for 6, but we haven't yet invested anything past that, because look at the price tag, 200,000 soli. That is over 50% of what we're currently at, and we still have to level our heroes. If we don't level our heroes, we're going to get stuck in the story no matter what we do. So we might have even went a little bit overboard. The main focus that we were actually looking for was this constellation right here, 6-1, to give us the 5 transfusion slots. So this is how our transfusion system currently looks like. You can see we still even have an open space if we ever need one. And just in case, we could also, for example, take out Jester and put in our Hearty, which we also have at like 1 siphoning. Yeah. I think that covers it for the most part. Then obviously we've pushed hard as far as we could reasonably push it. We'll obviously do some more pushing at some point. And yeah, this is what we're looking at. 27,271 power on end of day 3, moving into day 4. And yeah, I hope you were able to at least take something away from this. I hope it was able to at least answer some of your questions. And if you're curious what are we going to do from now, the plan is to become strong enough to beat the nightmare stage right here, which is DH111, and then farm that stage over and over again, the same way we did the Lamia stage before the event disappears in 3 days, so that we can once more break through 100 to 101 and also start working on that 120 barrier. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and as always, we see each other in the next one. Peace!